what would you do if your entire life's work just vanished? Today, we're going to break down a single, really explosive legal document that tells that exact story. It's a formal complaint from a professor who claims his own university destroyed everything he'd ever built. So right off the bat, the complaint slaps a huge number on this alleged loss, $5 million. And look, the professor argues this isn't some random figure. He's saying that's the real, calculated market value of over 30 years of his work. We're talking irreplaceable research, books, data, all of it, he claims, is now gone forever. And it's not just the dollar amount that's intense. The language in this thing is, wow. I mean, the complaint uses phrases like barbaric and unlawful wrongful termination over and over again. So you can tell right away, this is not just a simple workplace dispute. The document is framing this as a massive, aggressive violation of his rights, right from page 1. Okay, so who are the players in this showdown? Well, the complaint basically draws a line right down the middle. It's one person versus a massive institution. All right, so on one side, you've got Professor Mohammed Fayad. Now, he's a tenured professor, which is a big deal. But get this, he's representing himself, per se, as they say. No lawyer, just him. And on the other side, well, it's a laundry list of names. You have San Jose State University itself, plus deans, department heads, IT people, and even outside tech companies that he claims were involved. So the big question is, how on earth does a simple tech problem spiral into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit? Well, the complaint lays out a very specific and pretty dramatic timeline of what allegedly went down. It all kicks off in July 2022. The professor reports he's having some tech problems, so the university sends an IT assistant, a guy named Suhail Khan, over to his house. Now, according to the professor, he hands over his main hard drive for them to figure out what's wrong. But instead of a fix, he claims the drive was systematically wiped. Just total data loss. And the final domino to fall? Fast forward to March 2025, and the university terminates him. And you know, after this supposed data wipe, the professor didn't just give up. The complaint says he spent more than 10 grand of his own money. He took that hard drive to 2 different outside tech companies, just trying desperately to get back those 30 years of work. So you're not just talking about a professional loss here, it's a huge personal financial hit too. Now, this next part is a really critical moment, according to the complaint. After his hard drive is toast, the professor says he tried to get a new computer using his professional development funds, money that was supposedly his to use. But the response he got? We have no money for you. And for him, that wasn't just a no. He saw it as a complete violation of his rights as a tenured professor. So all of this story, this timeline of events, it's not just a complaint in the general sense. It's the foundation for a very formal legal attack. So let's break down the actual charges he's leveling against the university and everyone else. And the list is pretty intense. We're talking claims of violating his constitutional rights, due process, equal protection. He's alleging fraud and deceit, theft of his intellectual property, and it doesn't stop there. He's also claiming a civil conspiracy and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I mean, he's basically painting a picture of a deliberate, coordinated campaign to harm him. And to really drive home how coordinated he thinks this all was, the professor uses this one phrase that just jumps off the page. He alleges there was a mafia-like network inside the university working to protect the people responsible and make sure there was zero accountability. Okay, but here's where this whole thing gets even more interesting. It's not just what's in the complaint, it's who it was sent to. This wasn't some quiet legal filing that just goes to the university's lawyers. Oh no, this was blasted out to a huge and very strategic list of people, making sure this fight went public. First up, it goes straight to the top of state politics, the governor of California. Then it lands on the desk of a U.S. congressman, Ro Khanna. So now we're at the federal level. But it doesn't stop with politicians. He sends it to major players in his own world, like the publisher, Wiley. He's putting his entire professional community on notice. And finally, to make absolutely sure everyone hears about it, the recipient is just the media. The message here is crystal clear. I want everyone to know what's happening. So, okay, after laying out all these incredible allegations and sending this document to literally everyone, what's the end game? What is Professor Fayad actually asking for? Well, the complaint lays out 4 very specific demands. Number 1, he wants a full-blown, formal investigation into everything he's alleged. Number 2, he wants that $5 million in compensation for his lost work.
3, he wants his job back. Full reinstatement, full access to the university. And finally, number 4, he wants damages to cover that 10 grand he spent out of pocket, plus compensation for the emotional and psychological harm he says this all caused.
You know, when you boil it all down, this entire document with all its legal language and accusations, it really leaves you with one big, fundamental question. If a person's entire lifetime of work, decades of research and ideas, really does just vanish overnight, what could possibly make that person whole again? I mean, the complaint puts a $5 million price tag on it, sure, but the real question it leaves you thinking about is there a price for something like that at all?